So my typical workday, when I first started volunteering here, I was just doing standard recruitment interviews in which we would go into the hospital and recruit people for our study. Essentially, we would ask them preliminary questionnaires along with filling up saliva samples to kind of look at genetic biomarkers that may make people more or less predisposition to developing things like stress disorders. Because what we do in our project is we study stress, trauma, and PTSD, and looking at the different factors which may contribute to that, maybe protective factors against that. So when I first started here, that was my daily routine. I would come in here for maybe 2, 3, 4 hours max, conduct an interview, write up notes. However, since the beginning of the summer, I have actually been working with a sub-project within the overarching project that looks at the effects of intergenerational stress and trauma between mothers and their children. So that's what I've been doing over the summer. The ways that I think myself and a lot of people can be affected by it is that you hear these awful things and you start to internalize them. I've actually been very lucky in not feeling that much internalization. Actually, I don't feel as if I need to vent about it as much, or I need to take as much of it home with me, because I see myself as very similar to our participants. I see myself as having very similar experiences and having very dissimilar experiences. And I think in that way, it's just like interacting with any other person, because we don't know what any other person goes through. So as far as how I feel affected by this, I've learned to be grateful and to just think a little bit more critically about what people may or may not have gone through and not making those kinds of assumptions. I think it's made me a little bit of a softer person. I think it's made me a little bit more thoughtful about the experiences that people might go through. If somebody's having a rough day, I feel like I can brush it off easier. I feel like this job actually really calms me in a lot of ways, especially, which is ironic considering how much trauma and how much stress and how many awful things that we hear on a daily basis with the project. But what I found to be most unexpected is just how open people can be. I'll often hear people say, thank you so much. I've never told anybody about this before. I've only told my sister. I've only told my mom. I've only told my husband. They may have only ever told one other person or 2 other people if they've told anyone. And that's really unexpected. But what's also especially unexpected and what's an honor is that they feel as if you're worth sharing that to. They know that they can disclose that to you. They feel like this is a non-judgmental, safe space for them. And they know that they can talk about these things without any repercussions towards them, because it's a confidential study. We don't voice anything about, we don't talk about their personal identity, where they come from, who they are, anything like that, because that's not important to us. What's important to us is their experiences. And it seems like they know too that we care about their experiences and they want to talk about them.